Hello, gorgeous goddesses. It's Belle here, your confidence queen, alchemist, and activator from the Intuitive Goddess Academy. So I was going to do this outside because it's beautiful and sunshine, but it's so windy you probably wouldn't hear me. So I really want to, this is a bit vulnerable actually, but I found it's really important to share, and I want to see if you can relate in any way as well. So reach out if you want to let me know if this resonates with you. So I'm going to share with you a time in my life, or there's been plenty of times actually, it's probably something of late in the last few years I don't do this anymore, is selling myself. And what I mean by selling myself, it's probably not what you think it is or how it sounds, but it is and it isn't. So this isn't selling myself as in, favors or anything like that for money or anything like that. It's not that kind of sell myself like prostitution in that aspect. What it is all about is how I'd sell myself to what I thought at the time was helping others and doing things for others and thinking I was of deep service to others and all that sort of stuff. But I wasn't. I was actually being of disservice because, it's great to help people. And I love helping women to stand in their power, to become more confident and, have their dream life become a reality. But I can't do the work for them. And so what would happen is I would do this for people and, even partners in my life and all that sort of stuff. I'd do the work for them, try and help them go above and beyond and all that sort of stuff. And I was pretty much selling my soul because I would do things that wasn't in alignment with me, or that wasn't congruent with me, or to try and help others, make them feel better about themselves, when I was actually, I'd end up having like nearly a nervous breakdown, really, because, hi Sonia, I would have nearly a nervous breakdown because I was giving so much, not filling my cup at all, thinking I was doing the right thing, getting nothing in return, no thanks, no nothing, right? And the funny thing is, because I would set up that kind of or lack of boundaries in the relationships, and I'm talking about any relationship, friendships included, everything, that I would give, and then when I sort of went, oh, I can't do this anymore, I'm just knackered, right? Because I'd set that kind of standard, although it's a lack of standard in that relationship, right, that then people just expect more and more and more, right? And of course then when I can't do that, it all turned to po, right, and leaving me exhausted, like adrenal fatigue. I have an underactive thyroid, I have fibro, so it would really play havoc on my body. And, and then I'd be cranky and unhappy and moody, and, my kids would suffer because mum's a cranky, moody poo and all that kind of stuff. So I would sell myself constantly. And it's quite interesting when you look up Caroline Myss and the archetypes. So we all have, I think it's about 12 archetypes, and 8 of those archetypes are all different because we're all different and unique and all that kind of stuff. But we all have 4 main ones. And if I try to remember more, I always miss one. But the one I want to focus on, and which is perfect for this, and it was a real aha moment for me a couple of years ago, was the prostitute, right? So we're not talking about prostitution in sex and all that sort of stuff in this context here. We're talking about prostituting yourself. It's an archetype we all have. So it's doing things that go against you, that go against your alignment, that really will cause havoc in your life. It will throw you off balance. It will really mess with you emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, on all levels. It will fuck with you, right? Because that's not what you're meant to be doing. This is why we have boundaries, and this is why no is a good thing, right? And tuning into you and listening to you is why that is so vitally important, right? So I know, and the funny thing is, then when I was in that phase, especially, my 20s and early 30s, of selling myself, like, and I mean this in, like, I wasn't doing this consciously. I honestly thought at the time I was doing the right thing and felt I was being a loving, caring person, and I wasn't, because it was such a disservice to me and to the person. Because at the end of the day, we all have things that we've come to learn, that we want to grow, learn, heal, and evolve as, spiritual beings having in this human experience, right? And when you do things for people, they're not actually learning it. They're not getting what they need to. Doesn't mean that you just do nothing. No, you can sit there and listen to them, offer support, hold sacred space for them is what they really, really need. And I'm really amazing at holding sacred space, but it's taken me a long time to work out that what I was doing was actually prostituting. My prostitute archetype, the shadow aspect of it, was well and truly out in the open. And it was something that, it didn't have any benefits whatsoever at all. And interestingly enough, before I married my amazing husband, as you all know, Dave, I want to talk about the couple of relationships I had beforehand ended up in domestic violence. There was, I had to get a DV on one, and all this sort of stuff. It really, and I was in that, I'm a helper, I'm a healer, I'm a fixer, and I was doer and all that sort of stuff. And I was of disservice because I wasn't letting them learn their own lessons and doing it. But I also then was at a vibration of, that was to make me feel good because my confidence wasn't good. I had my self-worth and all that was really low. So what I was vibrating at, I was attracting in a partner, right? And then I'd find myself in these situations. So it all came to head when, I talk about Isaac dying often because in 2015, because that was such a huge traumatic event in my life, but it was also such a pivotal time in my life where it really shook me to my core. It shattered my belief. But I can't change what happened, but I look at it now, what did I learn, what did I gain, and it really, I'm getting goosebumps, it really helped transform my life into going, okay, who do I want in my life? It really cut my true friends list right down, who I gave time and energy to. And I also then really evaluated my life, like really evaluated my life. And I saw then the past couple of relationships I had, I'd rather be single for the rest of my life than have any of that shit again. But what I really looked at was I'm the only common denominator in all those relationships. So what was I doing? Like, I know I have amazing qualities, but what were the shadow aspects that were coming out that were, and why was I attracting those people and all this kind of stuff? And this is where it came out to, over helping and really being of disservice. Like I said, I wasn't consciously aware of it until after Isaac died. And I did this massive, deep healing work and shadow work and gratitude work and all the things I do now to help other women, right? And I realized that I had to raise my energy. I had to raise my standards. And one of the things was also was my prostitute. My prostitute archetype really was, I really needed to shine light in that shadow. So the more light I shine in there, the less that, I came to understand that with this archetype that, every time I was, selling a bit of my soul and I was feeling it, I'm like, no, this is telling myself this is the right thing to do when it wasn't, right? I'm being loving, I'm being caring. When I was, but I wasn't being of service. I was being of disservice, right? So I really worked on my relationship, me as a person and my relationship with myself, and really going into one of my biggest core values is know thyself. So the more that I know myself, the more that I'm aware of where I'm at, what's going on, whether I'm aligned, not aligned, is there shadow work there and shining lights on my shadows, doing more, filling my cup up, taking care of me, because and it was that expectation too, on a subconscious level, that somebody was going to take care of me, waiting for someone to give permission to take care of me or to do the things that I wanted to do that lit me up, that were soul and universe aligned, but I was waiting for the permission and it never came. And unfortunately, it all unraveled after the death of Isaac. So, and it's interesting then when Dave and I got together, right, and this is where it all turned around from going from the shitty relationships with DVs and, all that kind of stuff to having the most amazing man and husband who's loving, supportive, caring, and the man of my wildest dreams and more, right, was because I stopped that shadow prostitute, because I said to Dave, these are my core values, these are the things that I want in my life, these are my non-negotiables. Right, and doing know thyself and doing my self-development was a non-negotiable, because every relationship I had, I sold that. I put that aside, thinking that wasn't important. My core value was not important, so I put it to the side, right? And it was soul-sucking. It was energy draining. It was just the pits and the worst, right? So I vowed to myself I wouldn't do that again. And so I had this conversation. I can still remember sitting out at Dave's house outside having this conversation, going, right, this is something that this is non-negotiable. This is something that's really important to me. And if I don't do this, then this relationship's not happening. And the other thing was, I love my business. I know I want to do it. I'm not going to sacrifice that anymore. I'm not prostituting that part of me anymore. I've got this something in me, So going back then, I know more now. I've got this thing in me that I want to do it, I want to live it, and I want to make it happen. Are you on board or not? And I'm so grateful Dave said yes, right? And it got better. My life turned around so quickly, going from the absolute worst trauma of having a stillborn baby and being on my own, family turning on me and just working out who my true friends were, which really, I know a lot of people, but it really came down to a very few handful of people who are soul family, and I am absolutely blessed and grateful for all the time to have. But it really, I made the decision. I had to do the choice. No one was going to give me permission. No one was going to do it for me but me. But when I decided in that moment and having that conversation with Dave, and it did come down to, and, you know, before I spoke to Dave, having those, you know, gremlin thoughts, oh, what happens if he says no? You know, I really like this guy. He's really amazing. But what happens if he says no? But it came down to, I'm not prostituting. I'm not selling myself anymore, because it never ends well. It never it's just not going to end well. End of story. There is no if, buts, and maybe. It is not. So when you sell yourself, right, and I mean sell yourself where you're in that place, and every now and then that creeps up for me, and Dave and I'll have a conversation. I go, well, I won't do that, right? And it's not Dave, it's me. It's that bit of the self-sabotage archetype coming in. And then I can feel it going, hang on a minute, this is off aligned. Because the more work I've done and doing with becoming aligned to my soul and the universe, the more I instantly feel it. I can feel as soon as that prostitute comes in, I can feel this like, it just feels really off and yuck real quick. And I just can hear that selling yourself. You're selling yourself. Do you really want to be doing that? You know where that goes. Why would you want to do that again? And then I talk with Dave and we work it out, right? But it's never, ever works out. So, you know, what aspects of your life are you selling yourself short? Selling your soul. It's not even selling yourself short. It's selling parts of yourself, soul. It's really prostituting part of you and who you are and why you are here, right? And we are here. We are meant to be feeling good pretty much nearly all the time, because as spiritual beings, right, as our true essence is feeling good. It's not just feeling good, it's feeling amazing. It's feeling and being surrounded by that divine unconditional love, which feels absolutely friggin' amazing. That is your true essence, right? So when you're not feeling good, you're off alignment. You've moved away from your soul and the universe. And yes, there is reasons for that, because, you know, we have challenges to grow us, to help us expand, to evolve, and all that sort of stuff. But listening to your emotions and listening to your soul and the universe is your guidance. It's amazing how we all go, oh, life's so hard, right? And, you know, oh, I wish I knew what to do and all this kind of stuff. When you have it all in you, when you're aligned and connected to your soul, right, and the universe, it's already there with you. You know, we hear that saying the answers are already within you, and it's true. And connecting with your soul and the universe is the absolute quickest and easy way. Everyone can do it. Why? Because you are all spiritual beings. You are all meant to feel good, and you all have that divine connection with yourself. Even if you're not consciously aware of it at the minute, there is definitely that link there, because you're a spiritual being having a human experience. So not all of your soul is incarnated into this physical body, but it doesn't mean that you're not connected. You're always connected to that part of your soul, and that divine wisdom and the infinite intelligence of the universe you can access at any time, right? And stop selling yourself. It's like knowing that, you know, you see a fire and you put your hands in the flame, you know you're going to get burnt. And this is the kind of same thing. Every time you sell yourself, it is never going to work out. It just doesn't. It's because it's not part of your true essence. That's not what you're meant to be doing. You're meant to be, you deserve, and it's your innate right or thing to feel good, because that is part of your essence. That's who you are. Your emotions are powerful and talk to you all the time. Do you listen? Are you taking action? You know, how connected are you to the soul, your soul, and the universe? It's there to guide you and help you along the way. And for whatever reason you've come down into this earth as a human, right? There is a mission and a purpose there for you that is, you know, unique to each and all of us. Although I do feel there's a connection and all that sort of stuff, but the way we do it is different. You want to know that, connect with your soul and the universe, and it's going to help you, it's going to guide you, it's going to give you the baby steps, give you inspired action so you can feel good. You can do your soul's work and do it the way that is right for you, because doing it like everybody else may not be on the cards for you. And by doing it by everyone else, go, oh, that's what they're doing, I should do that. Again, prostitutes coming in, because that may not be the right way for you. Yours could be completely different. May have the same outcome. It may be the same, but you've got a different outcome because it's all about what's aligned to you. So Sonia, yes, I learned it in a hard way last year. So I had to set boundaries, say no, even burn bridges. Oh my God, yes. And Nick, Sonia, yes, thank you so much. Boundaries. And that's what it comes down to. If you don't like the way someone is treating you, then don't allow them. They treat you that way because you allow them. Again, thank you, Sonia, that comes into that prostitute aspect as well. Going, oh, you know, they're this person or that person, I don't like how they treat me. Well, don't allow them. Say no more. Say yes, whatever it is. Honor you. If you want people to treat you with respect and you want people to honor you and love you, start with you. How people treat you is also a reflection of how you treat your inner self. How kind are you? What do you tell yourself? What are your thoughts? Because your thoughts are energy. Everything's energy, and we all vibrate at a certain rate, and so do your thoughts. And if you've got those thoughts and they're playing over and over, the law of attraction is a law. You cannot change it. You're going to be attracting more of that as well. So how is it that how are people treating you in this life, right? Have a look at how you treat you. How much love do you give you? How much time do you spend filling your cup up? How much do you feel you deserve to feel good, right? If you don't feel that you deserve it, well, then you're going to get people in your life that are going to treat you the same way. So yes, boundaries are absolutely necessity. And, you know, we don't get on with everybody, and that's just how it is, you know. Focus on what you do want, not what you don't want. When you're focusing on what you don't want, I don't want blah, 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 you're giving it energy, you're giving it thought, it's vibrating, you're creating this energy, I guess like a vortex energy of what you don't want. And of course, the law of the universe is going, well, okay, I'm going to match you on that vibration and give you more stuff that you don't want. Hello, gorgeous Nikki. Yes, I miss you too. Been way too long. Nikki and I have known each other for a very long time, a couple of decades now. We went to high school together. Yeah, so that's what it's all about. That's what I'm saying, selling yourself. We all have that prostitute archetype. So in one way or another, we all do it, and it's about becoming more aware of it. And, you know, and really the more that you connect with your soul and the universe, you can feel when you're doing it. I can feel it now. I've become more aware, and life is about human life is about becoming consciously aware. And by knowing yourself and then becoming more consciously aware, you can make choices and decisions that are aligned for you. Yes, there are going to be people out there that don't like it, but even when you're selling yourself, there's still people out there that don't like it. But when you feel good and you are aligned and really honoring your soul, right, you're going to be attracting more amazing things in your life. You're going to be getting more. You're not going to have people treat like shit, because when you start treating yourself with love and respect and filling your cup up, people are going to start doing the same. You're going to find there are people that are going to move away because you're not vibrating at the same rate. A like attracts a like. It's like a magnet, right? So, and, you know, and as hard as it can be that friendships and things fall away or complete, you're then making room for those ones that are going to treat you with love and respect. That as you increase your energy vibration and feel good more often, you're going to be attracting more like-minded people in your life. Right? I hope so. That'd be awesome, Nikki. We'd love to have you up here. That'd be so cool. And I know the kids would love to see the kids, and we'd love to see all of you. That'd be awesome. So, you know, it's about really stop selling yourself. It's not worth it. You're not going to get anywhere. And that life you dream of, that life you desire, is not going to happen when you're selling the soul, when you're off alignment and all that sort of stuff. It is not going to happen. Like I said, I attracted really shitty, fucked up relationships, right? But it was taking responsibility for my part, where I was at and why was I attracting them, because I can't change anybody else, and I would never ask anybody else to change, right? And also too, if anyone says to you, oh, you've changed, it's because you're not meeting their needs anymore. It's kind of a good thing. You're not there to meet their needs. We've got to meet our own needs, right? So, you know, and then when I did that, when I did the work, the shadow work, the surrendering work, taking responsibility and doing some self-love and really connecting more with my soul and the universe and all that sort of stuff, Dave comes along, right? This most amazing man. Like, and I shit you not, when I used to sit there and when I was single and think of what my dream man was, because, you know, with manifesting, they say write out what you like your dream man would be. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Not really sure what his human physical body is going to look like, right? And, you know, and funnily enough, when I look at it now, the man that I would describe and all that sort of stuff would be Dave. It was all the characteristics, you know, someone who loves me for me and my children and wanted another baby too. And, you know, all the other amazing quality Dave has that I get to see or share my life with. It was quite mind-blowing that you have this fantasy. And then I used to then sort of go, before Dave and I got together, I'd be like, oh, he couldn't possibly exist. I have such high standards and all that sort of stuff. Lo and behold, he does exist, and he's even better in person, right? But that's also because I stopped allowing my shadow prostitute rule my life. I stopped that shadow being really overdrawn and covering me and being in the shadow with that prostitute, right? It was about going no and shining my light in that prostitute and going no and honoring my soul in the universe and my guidance and not selling myself anymore. And it did. My life went from the worst traumatic thing that, you know, there is no words to fully describe, and how traumatic it is losing a child and a baby and all that sort of stuff. And to then in a very short few months, turning like my grief is still there and all that sort of stuff, and I talk about it, but turning it around to having the man of my dreams in reality, because I did the work, because I stopped allowing my shadow prostitute rule. I took my power back. I realized what was important to me, and I wasn't sacrificing it anymore. I wasn't selling myself. I wasn't going, oh yeah, okay. No, there are some things that I'm flexible on and all that sort of stuff, but my non-negotiables, right? Things that were really important to me, like things like, you know, my know thyself, my core, you know, my core beliefs do change and shift depending on as I grow and evolve, but know thyself, which is my self-development and all that sort of stuff, hasn't changed for many years, like since my early 20s, since I became aware of it, right? Has not changed, right? And doing my business, doing this work, doing, you know, being connected to my soul and to the universe and doing my soul's work was no more a non-negotiable, right? And also too, there was things within our family and how we raise kids as blended families and all that sort of stuff that we discussed and came together with as a non-negotiable. But those things are what turned my life around to make it amazing, right? So it's, you know, yes, you may like feel like a, bye gorgeous, yes. And yes, I do have an amazing husband. I sure do. I am very, very grateful and very blessed every day that I get to spend my life with an amazing man. And, you know, we've blended our family and have all these tribe of children and all that sort of stuff. And, you know, Dave gets, and you know what was really amazing too is it wasn't when I said about the business, and I remember saying, are you on board or aren't you? Because if you're not, this is not going to happen. This is not going to work. And he goes, yes, I am. What? See, this is the thing about being even more amazing in reality with Dave is that he's jumped on board with the business. He's in there. Like, you don't see him as much because he has a day job, but he is a part of a huge, massive part behind the scenes. You know, in the academy membership, you know, he does shaman nights. We do circles. He helps put the quest and the journeys together, even the program, and even Deepen Your Goddess Soul Alignment Package, which you can purchase for a short period of time for $33. It's going back up to $99. I will put a link in. I just jumped on really quickly and just really thought I need to share this, and I've been wanting to do it for a while. I'm like, no, now's the time. So you can do that. And this and that. There's a masterclass with Dave and I. There's some meditations there and a soul book to help you get more aligned, to shine light. Really, it's shining light in that shadow aspect of the prostitute, because when you're aligned with your soul and you're aligned with the universe, right, you get inspired action. You ask, what is my next step? What is it that I need to do today? What is it that I can do to feel good today? Because I deserve to feel good. And yes, you so friggin' do, right? So we've put that together. We've got it on special at the minute, Australian dollars for $33, right? It's like insane. The transformation, seriously, if we were to charge on the basis of the transformation that this package would do, it'd be a shitload more, even more than $99 when it goes back up to its normal price, right? So September is my birthday, so it's like a bit of a birthday present back, right? So, you know, this package is something like Dave's in there. He's helped me put it together and all that sort of stuff. You know, even our conversations, you know, we'll ask something and we're like, does that feel aligned to you? And that's how we ask. Not does it feel right to you? Does it feel good? It's more, does it feel aligned to you? So does it feel aligned to you? Is it, yes, it does feel good, or no, it doesn't, right? So, and that's how we conversate with each other about, you know, getting in aligned and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, this went for a bit longer than what I thought. So when I get really passionate on the roll, it just all flows out. It's quite amazing. And that's the thing, you know, with having a healing business, right? And mine is energetic healing. It's working with women, working with your confidence, self-love, and how to activate your confidence. Pardon me, and activating your confidence. And I say activate because it's already within you. You were born with confidence, right? But with the conditioning and life experience and all that sort of stuff, shit has been piled on. I'm here to help you clear that shit out, right? Because it is something within you. It's about like, it's like the light switch has been turned off. So I'm here to help you activate it, turn it back on. Because when you feel confident, right, and connected with your soul and divine is like the massive confident boost. I tell you, it's friggin' amazing, right? But it's also too about clearing out the old, no longer serves you, surrendering, cutting cords, and all that kind of stuff, right? Which we do in the Abundant Goddess Healer program, right? So that's there as well if you really want to go deeper, and especially if you want a healing business and you want to really be a deep transformational service, that's a place to be, right? And I just want to say the healing circles in that, they're all channeled, all guided. I sometimes don't even know what's coming through till that very present moment, and are amazing. Like, they just even blow me away, right? They're so epic. But, you know, the thing is, if you really want to start having your dream life into reality, start doing something different, because if you keep doing the same thing, nothing is going to change. And if you're selling yourself, your prostitute shadow is really up, like really in the forefront. It's time to put some light in that. Anyway, that is me for now. Thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions, pop them down. Or if you'd like to hear from me and you want to know a bit more about, say, the Abundant Goddess Healer program, or how you can deepen your Goddess Soul Alignment package, put a comment below or message me. There's a private message here. You know, you can either go through this page, our Intuitive Goddess Academy page, or you can go and private message at Belle Cornish. I would love to connect with you and talk to you more, because I'm here because my mission is to really get women to activate their confidence, to stand in their power, to get the clarity, feel grounded, and have a fucking amazing life and feel good all the time, because that's what you deserve, and that is your true essence. So it's about stripping all that bullshit back and standing in your power and back into your true essence. Alrighty, gorgeous goddesses, have a magical day, and I look forward to connecting more with you. Love and gratitude. Bye.